Thank you. As we all know, this is a debate tonight for Republican candidates for Bartow County Commissioner. And in all likelihood, with voting trends, one of you sitting up on the stage is going to be the next commissioner for Bartow County. So this time I'd like each of you to take a couple of minutes to share with us some of your core ideology and Republican, both big R and little r, principles with us. And this starts with candidate Taylor, I'm sorry.
Let's see, Republican principles. I'm a conservative, of course, and I'm moderate in some things and conservative in others. I don't know the specifics that you're probably looking for, but fiscally conservative, of course, and I've run a business for many, many years, and I grew up in that business. My grandfather and my dad and my uncle started that business. They borrowed $300 to get started in 1948. So we grew up conservative. We farmed and ran our store in Cartersville there, and I go down to conservative roots to the core. So basically that, I'm Baptist faith. My family belongs to Tabernacle Church. I think those are Republican principles. We're friends with many, many Democrats. I love them. They're part of my family. Even though we may have different views on things, they're the greatest friends in the world. So I guess I hope that's what you're looking for, but that's just the way I am.
Thank you. Candidate Mike Abernathy.
Thank you. As you've already heard tonight, I have moral views, character. I want to express that to all people of Bartow County. I spent 38 years working for Power Company. I know business. I know organization. I have an OSHA background. I have compliance issues, training issues, performance management training. All those things are in my background. I've led those crews, done projects. I understand what we got to do to build this county. But I have a core Christian walk within my own soul and within my heart. And I'm going to treat everybody with equality, no matter what they do. You know, if we don't get a job and we don't get a business, if times get so hard we can't do anything else, we still need to love each other as people of Bartow County. We need to pull this thing together and just, you know, I once heard it said, when Americans work together, they can do anything. And I really believe that. I believe that as we, as a body of people in Bartow County, my core beliefs are I'm a gun-toting old country boy. And I'll shoot you if you break in the house. And somebody named Millsap can haul you out. And I was talking to him the other day, and he said, I'll do it. And I would advise everybody in here to be a gun-toting conservative. And I would advise you to pray daily so you don't have to shoot nobody. But if they come in the window, do it and call Millsap.
Thank you, Candidate Abernathy.
Guess that falls under the laying on the hands side. All right, Candidate Tracy Lewis.
Thank you, Lewis. I am a conservative Republican as well. Very fiscally conservative. I was brought up that if you don't have it, you can't buy it. You can't spend it. If you don't have the borrowing power to buy something, then don't get it. Don't get yourself in debt. So fiscally conservative, definitely, are Republican ideologies. But you know, as I've traveled all over the nation and gone to a couple of campaign management schools last year in anticipation for this race, what I found, a couple of them up north I went to, is Republicans and Democrats in other parts of the nation are so polar opposite. Down here in the Bible Belt in the South, we're not that different. We're very close to the middle line. Most of us are fiscally conservative. So of course I'm Republican. But I have many friends that are Democrats, and we are not that different. Some things that may make us polar opposites is if we're pro-life, which I am, which definitely makes me Republican because of a skit I saw as a preteen in church. That made me a Republican right there, because I will never change my mind on pro-life. But that's not a county commissioner issue. But and as far as being conservative and working, I think we need to also, totally switching gears, build relationships with state and federal governments and tap into resources there that we may not have been taken advantage of. And I have the resources in the state and the federal level to be in touch with those people. Their numbers are in my cell phone.
Thank you. Candidate Mike Bearden.
Folks, I'm a Christian, then I'm a conservative, and then I'm a Republican. And it's in that order. You can't know me without knowing my faith first. That came, I was at the Spot of Earth at Freddie Gunn's barbecue the other day where I was baptized 40 years ago, or 45 years ago. But in terms of my values, it's got to be legal, it's got to adhere to the Constitution. It's got to lessen the tax burden. It's got to reduce the size of the government. It's got to promote personal responsibility. It's got to promote liberty and justice. All of my academic training was sort of numbers oriented as an engineer undergraduate and a master's in finance. It's a very analytical type background, but I immersed myself in readings in the 70s as a young father. My oldest son sits here. Thank you for coming tonight. And I read a lot about what made our country great. It started with a book that Barry Goldwater wrote, Conscience of a Conservative. I then spent a lot of time studying the Federalist Papers, which explained our founding fathers' government, and a lot of W.F. Welty. I am about as right-wing as anybody in this crowd. I'm a Christian first.
Thank you.
Got a lot of friends who aren't.
Candidate Tony Tidwell.
Right after I first announced that I was going to run for county commissioner, one of our judges that I've known over the years in Bartow County, I ran into him at a breakfast, and he looked at me and he said, "Boy, you caught me off guard." He said, "I just never pictured you as being a politician." And I said, "I'm not. I'm just running for county commissioner." But I don't guess you can separate the two. But I am a Republican. I don't believe in, I know we've got to have government intervention in certain things. You just have to, because the way some of the people do if you don't. I believe in trying to limit it as much as you can. I find myself doing that. I work with the building inspection department, and there's certain rules we have to abide by as far as state laws, federal laws, but I find myself trying to figure out how to let this contractor or this homeowner get around that law, because I don't feel like it's really right. But I mean, we still try to stay within the confines. I'm not doing anything illegal out there. But as far as being conservative, you can ask my wife, my sister, my daughters. If anything, and I think this is probably where some of the people that I work with, they might be scared I'm too conservative. And I have to have that person over there saying, "Listen now, I know it's going to cost a little extra for this, but this is why we need it. It will help us do this, save us money in the long run, then I'm okay with it. You got to show me first, and I'm okay."